Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're actually going to sit down and do a Boxycharm unboxing. So this is my third time filming this video. I hope that this one works out because I've had technical difficulties for the last two times that I filmed it, but we're going to give it another shot today. Now I know that not everybody does or is interested in Boxycharm videos, but there's some really great things that were included in this month's box. So if you're interested in hearing what came in my box this month and what look I'm going to create with it, then let's go ahead and get started. So I want to get the non-makeup related items out of the way, and the first one that we got is a set of tweezers from the brand Farrah. These I believe retail for $12. This is not something I was super excited about getting in my box, but I know this is something that definitely will come in handy for me. They do feel like really good quality tweezers. You can just tell kind of from the feel of them. Looking at the blades of them, they just look like they'll probably be really good. So I am relatively excited to have these and use these. I know I'll definitely get a lot of use out of them. The next thing I got in my box is a makeup brush cleanser from Bodyography. I feel the exact same way about this as I did about the tweezers. It's something I'm not super excited about, but it definitely is something that's useful that I know I'll get some use out of. If you had a chance to watch my 6 brushes video, I kind of talked in there about kind of my brush method, how I kind of keep my brushes clean, because I use a lot of the same brushes day after day, and it's nice to have something to help keep them clean between uses. Product retails for $12. I think that's pretty expensive considering this is kind of a small product, it's only 2 ounces. But again, I know that this is something I will definitely use. Speaking of makeup brushes, this month we also got an eye brush set from Luxie. This is their Luminous Eye Set, and I am really excited to have these in my collection for a couple of reasons. First off, a few months ago we got a set of face brushes from Luxie, and I have been absolutely loving those brushes. They're really, really good quality. I just really have been enjoying them. Another thing I think is kind of unique about these brushes is their size. These are definitely on the smaller side compared to some of my other brushes. I have a lot of very large, fluffy, blending style brushes, and then I have a lot of kind of liner smudge style brushes, but I don't have a lot of brushes in between. And that's exactly what I feel like these brushes are. I feel like they fill in that gap of like detail type of brushes that I would need in between my larger brushes and my much smaller kind of very detailed brushes. If you can see right here, here is my typical blending brush. I mean, these are significantly smaller, and this is my Morphe M504, which I use pretty much every single day. These are a lot smaller, but they're still very good quality, very, very soft. So I am really excited to have these in my collection. I know I'll definitely get some good use out of these. And these retail for $21. So moving on to the makeup items, the first thing we got is an eyeshadow palette. So when I first saw this in like a spoiler sneak peek online, I kind of was like, oh, another warm tone palette from Boxycharm, what's new? We've gotten quite a few kind of warmer tone palettes throughout the year. So I wasn't necessarily excited about this until I actually opened it and kind of finger swatched these. I'm really excited about this. I think the quality of these eyeshadows is really, really great. I've used this quite a few times over the last week. You can kind of see here, I mean, like these foiled shades right here are just so beautiful and buttery and foiled. The mattes are really rich and pigmented. I mean, this is just really a great warm tone palette. And I think what I especially love in this palette are these 3 shades right here, because they're definitely slightly unique to my collection. I don't have a lot of very vivid pinks. So that's actually what we're going to be creating today. We're going to do a kind of pink toned eye look with these, and I'll kind of show you guys just how amazing these look on the eye. But before we jump into that, I want to share the last thing that we got, and it is the Cover FX glitter drops. I have very, very mixed feelings about these, you guys. I have been trying really hard to love these over the last week because I think they are so incredibly beautiful. I have this swatched right here. I mean, just look at that reflectiveness. But the problem that I'm having with this product, I've kind of tried to use it in a couple of different ways throughout the last week, is if you actually can feel this, it's a very kind of oily base to this, so it's not a type of product that sets down. Now, I am not opposed to using glitter if it's very controllable. So if I'm using glitter, I basically am probably only using it on my eyelids, but it needs to have some sort of like a backing in it that's going to kind of set it in place. This definitely doesn't have that. It's basically just beautiful glitter floating inside an oily liquid substance, which means it kind of gets all over the place. So if you are someone that doesn't mind glitter all over your body, if you just are like totally into glitter, I think you would absolutely love this because the actual glitter in this is beautiful. But I just don't see a way that I could use this product. Like as a body glitter, I feel like this is such a pretty body glitter, but I just don't really have any sort of occasion in my life where I would need to use body glitter. I mean, I don't have a prom to go to. I'm way past that stage in my life. I'm certainly not going to any fancy balls anytime soon. Like, I feel like that's what this product would just totally be made for, is someone that is going to like a formal event or the prom. This would be a beautiful product for someone like that in a situation like that, but I just don't really quite know how to use this for me. So we're going to jump into this eyeshadow palette now. So I really want to kind of only focus on these kind of pink tones today. This is kind of a look that I think is really fun to create, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. This look, as beautiful as I think it is, this is not a look that I would be comfortable wearing like out and about. I definitely would not wear this bright of a look to the grocery store or to pick my kids up from school. But with that said, I love playing with makeup and trying new things, and so that's kind of what we're going to do today. So I'm going to start off by going into this shade right here. This is the shade Clove. This is like a neon peach. It's really, I mean, it doesn't look that crazy in the pan, but hopefully as I put it on my eyes, you guys will see kind of the intensity that this shade has. I'm just putting that kind of right above my crease with my Morphe M504 brush. I don't know if you guys can kind of tell, but that is just one little swipe, and it is seriously bright, very bright. I have been seeing these pink toned eyeshadow looks kind of all over Instagram and YouTube, and I really am kind of into it. I just don't quite know like how someone very boring like myself can kind of pull a look like that off, like in my daily life. I think it's fun to like sit down and play. My comfort zone is a very like small box. I'm comfortable in very neutral shades and colors. Most of them have some brown in them. My son does have a cello concert tonight, and I'm wondering if I dare to wear this to the cello concert. I kind of feel like there's a part of me that wants to like dare myself to like be brave and do it, but if I'm honest, I think there's probably 90% chance that this makeup is going to be taken off by the time that concert starts. So now I'm going to go in with this shade right here. This is kind of a, I don't know if I call it a shimmer. I'd say it's more of like a satin color. This is the color Rose. You can see right here, it's just a very beautiful, subtly shiny, almost a fuchsia kind of pink. And you guys can see how, I mean, that is seriously pink. I think if I just stuck with the transition shade and then the darker shade, I probably would wear that out, but it's this pink that makes me a little bit intimidated. You could definitely use a brush for this, but I just like using my finger. I feel like I get the best texture on my lid and the best color payoff. So I'm going to take a clean finger, this one right here, and I'm going to kind of just smudge that edge a little bit, basically just to kind of blend it. You could also just use a clean blending brush, but so I'm not too worried right now about the blending of this shade because we're going to kind of blend that in a little bit later. Now I'm going to take this darker shade right here. This is the color Poppy. Probably one of my favorite shades in this palette. It is so beautiful. I love this color. This is definitely a color that I would wear. I think with some of these other shades, it would be a little bit more neutral. So I'm just popping a little bit of that on the Luxie mini tapered brush. This is basically just a really tiny blending brush. And I'm really just kind of concentrating that right in this like corner of my eye right there, right underneath the crease. I'm just barely pulling that in, just really tiny little circles. So quick little story. So the second time I tried to sit down and film this Boxycharm video, this was just like 2 days ago. Yeah, definitely getting some fallout right there. I'm gonna put this right there just to stop that fallout. So when I sat down to film this video a couple days ago, the craziest thing happened. So I film in my unfinished basement, and I have a window well right behind you guys where the camera is. And when I sat down to film, I heard this noise out in the window well, and I looked out there. This was like a 5 o'clock, 4:30 in the afternoon, and there was a bunny that fell into the window well, like a white-tailed, like wild bunny. I mean, when I first saw it, it looked like a pet bunny because it just looked so small and kind of, it looked like somebody's pet. So we had to go rescue it, and we ended up putting it in a box, and initially we thought, okay, well, if this is a domesticated pet bunny, we can't just let it out into the wild because it's getting so cold now, and we just weren't sure how to handle it. But we live kind of in a very like rural area. There's not a lot of houses very close by to us, so we just didn't really know what to do. But we started doing some research online and discovered that it actually was a cottontail bunny, which is a wild native kind of to this area bunny, and they actually had been tilling up the farm, the field right next to us that day. So I think somehow like them tilling it up probably like moved this bunny out of its home or wherever it was hiding. So We ended up letting it go the next morning. That night, late that night. But my kids had fun just like feeding it carrots and celery and, oh man, my son, so I have an 11-year-old son that is just, he loves animals so much, and he has been like hunting for the bunny. Like he came home from school yesterday and spent the whole afternoon outside like combing the fence line trying to find the bunny to see if he could find it, because he's convinced that it's not a wild bunny, it's a pet bunny, and that we should keep it. So that's what ended up happening. Instead of this video, we went on a bunny rescue mission, and it was kind of fun actually. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. I forgot to mention, so I'm just taking that initial M504 brush and just very lightly kind of blending along the edge there, just to kind of blend everything together. So we're going to move on to the under eye area. Now the first time I did this look, I actually took some of the pinks on my lower lash line. It just did not look that good on me. I think for like something like very editorial, like for an editorial type of look, but for everyday wear, I just did not like that look on me. So today instead, I'm going to go in with this color right here, which is a much more neutral matte brown, and we're going to kind of just build that up on the lower lash line. I'm taking my Alamar Cosmetics flat liner brush, and we're just going to kind of work that right like 2/3 of the way in. I keep forgetting that I have these brushes, so I'm actually going to take this brush. This is the mini round brush. It's basically just a really small smudge brush, and with that same shade, just to kind of get it a little bit lower, I'm going to kind of buff that right there. So now I'm going to go in and take my Alamar Cosmetics brush, and we're going to take a little bit of this poppy shade, and I'm just going to kind of put that right in that outer very most corner of the eye, just to kind of like blend it up to that outer corner right there. Okay, now I'm going to move on to my inner corner. We're going to take this color right here, which is a beautiful, just traditional champagne color. This is the color Jasmine. I'm going to take my clean ring finger and just kind of start pulling that. So I place it right there on the inner corner, and then I kind of slightly pull it in to overlap that pink just a little bit. I'm going to take this Luxie mini angled brush. Whoa, what is that hair doing? And I'm just going to kind of slightly go over just kind of that, where that gradient is right there, just so there's no harsh lines. Don't want to press too hard because I don't want to like knock off all of that reflectiveness. This will just kind of help blend out that area so you can't really tell where they overlap. And now I'm going to take just a tiny bit more on my pinky finger and just apply that right on the inner corner. Kind of the top and bottom inner corner. So now we're going to move into the tricky part, the tricky product, which is the Cover FX glitter drops. I would probably leave this eye look here because I know what this is going to do to the eye look. It definitely will add some pretty glitter, but it also kind of lifts up the product underneath. But I did want to show you guys just how this product works, how it looks. So we're going to take just the tiniest amount of this on the back of my hand. I'm going to take my ring finger and just kind of start patting it out. And then over here, I just really want to kind of get a small amount of this on my finger. Because again, this is kind of an oily base, and it definitely lifts up the shadow that is underneath it. So I'm just going to take that little bit on my finger. I'm just going to lightly pat that right on this kind of inner part of my lid. And then also right lightly over the center. I don't know how well you guys can see that. You can see it definitely adds a lot of like reflectiveness to it. But I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I do feel like the more I try and tap it, the more things start to look kind of patchy. You can see I have this little like patch right here. But I know the more I tap it out, I've tried this a few times, and I know the more that I tap at it, the more it's actually just going to lift the product underneath off. So again, that's one of the reasons I think this is such a tricky product to work with on the eyes. Reading the description of this product, it sounds more like it's meant to be like a body glitter, meant to be used underneath foundation. I'll be honest, I haven't tried it like that, but I know I don't like glitter all over my face, so I just can't possibly imagine that that would be something I would like. I don't know. Have you guys ever tried putting a glitter product underneath your foundation? Let me know if maybe I'm missing something. It doesn't sound like something that would appeal to me, but I haven't tried it, so I guess I can't really say for sure. So there it is. You can see it's definitely pretty, but if you see it in person, you definitely will be able to see that compared to what was there before, I feel like you can see a little bit more of like my skin tone color there, rather than like the very opaque kind of champagne color that we had going on. I wish so badly it was not like an oil base, it was more of like a liquid eyeshadow. It would be so beautiful if it was that product, but again, this just isn't that product. It's definitely kind of meant for something else. And at the end of the day, I just don't know that this is a product that's meant for me, which I think is so unfortunate because I think it's so pretty. I mean, I could swatch this and just stare at it on the back of my hand all day long because it's just, I mean, look at that, so pretty. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of this on my finger and just apply it right on the cheekbones, even though I don't usually like putting glitter on my cheekbones, just so you guys can kind of see what it does. And I know this is I probably will regret doing this later because I really don't want to have to rewash my face, but I'm going to have glitter all over me. Okay, so really quickly, I forgot to mention the eyeshadow palette retails for $24.99. The glitter drops retail for $44. So I realized I totally forgot to finish off my look, so I'm going to go add a little bit of black liner. This is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster Black Liner. Then I'm going to add some mascara. I think today I'm going to use my Essence Volume Stylist mascara. And then I'm going to put on some lipstick and I will be right back with you guys. Alright guys, so here is the finished look. I absolutely love how this eye look turned out. I'm just really into the pink eyeshadow right now. It's definitely out of my comfort zone. I'm not sure I'm quite ready to like wear this out and about because I promise you guys it's a little bit more vivid in person than it's looking even on the camera. But I think it's beautiful. I absolutely love this eyeshadow palette. I am really enjoying playing with this. I'm excited to keep playing with it and try out some of these a little bit more natural colors because really, other than that bright pink in there, everything else in here I would say is pretty neutral. Absolutely love this. Can't wait to keep playing with it. Wish that I loved these glitter drops. Let me know. I think I've already said this a few times, but if you guys have used these, if you've tried these, if you found a way to make these work for you, definitely let me know in the comments below because I'd love to see if there's a way I can get these to work for me. I don't know. I don't know if you guys can see very well my eyes, but you can kind of see like it's looking a little bit patchy under where I put these glitter drops because I think just the oil in this kind of lifts off the rest of your makeup. So I think it's really just meant to be a body glitter. I think that's probably where this product would shine, but I just really have no use for a body glitter in my life. If you do, I think you would absolutely love this. Eye brushes. Totally thrilled with these. I think they work fantastically. I love the size of these. They definitely are a good addition to my brush collection. Love these smaller ones on the lower lash line especially. They just are so much softer than what I typically use on my lower lash line. And other than that, that's pretty much it for today's Boxycharm video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Please let me know what you guys thought of these products, if you have tried any of these out, if you have Boxycharm, what you got in your box. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for stopping by my channel today. I hope that you guys have a really great day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.